Joining us here on India Today is Mr. Raj Patel of Patel Winery. Mr. Raj Patel has the distinct honor of being part of a winery that's serving the guests at the White House at the state dinner, because in that menu there's also mention of Patel wines being presented at that state dinner. So Mr. Raj Patel, thank you very much for joining us. You must be very, very thrilled to see Patel wine on the menu of the White House state dinner. Patels are a fabulously industrial community. They aren't really known for their wines, are they? Or am I wrong? What was your inspiration to really start Patel Wines? It's something that really came across as unheard of, essentially. I was very surprised to see Patel Wines on the menu.
Originally I had worked at Robert Mondavi as a summer job as an intern. As a lab tech, and since then I was inspired. One of the great things is that I was able to meet Tim Mondavi and Robert Mondavi, and one of the things they said that I should, one of those things I had a natural talent, had a great palate, and they said that you should, go into the wine business. I went into the world of finance, and then in 2007 I started. I've always since then wanted to own a winery and start one. It's just that, the timing changes over life, and in 2007 was a great time. So in 2005, I started planning. In 2007, we came out with our first vintage. And so it's been great. It's just been a great passion. And originally it started out as a hobby, just doing 100 cases. Now we're up to 1,200 cases. And we've grown word of mouth. And we make great wine. We have a great winemaker, Julian Fayard, one of the top 5 winemakers in the world now. So it's been a great project.
Well, congratulations, because clearly it was the right decision. But you look at wines, and whenever you go to these mega events, wines are quite a lot about snob value, about perception. Your brand is called Patel Wine, and like I said, it's something that's not really associated with the Patels. Does that make it a bit harder to really create that image of being a reputable wine, of snobbishness perhaps, like some of the French and Italian wine brands? Or are you really hoping to tap into Desi pride like it's successfully done at this state dinner?
Our first and foremost quality was always to make a great wine, and a wine that was well structured, elegant, that had the ability to last through time. And it was made for the American palate. And it just so happened that over the years, the Indian community has really embraced the culture of drinking wine. And being Indian myself and Patel, and the fact that we make a really high-end, high-quality wine, they've really embraced it. So there is a sense of, like you mentioned, the snobbery of the wines, but what we make is a high-end, high-quality wine, and there are others who pertain to make wines that are bigger on the label side or the price side, and our goal is to make wine so that everyone drinks it and tastes it and loves it. And so, and that's one of the reasons I think that we were able to get into the White House, is that we made a wine that has a broad appeal. The 2019 red wine that's being served, it goes with a lot of different foods. It's food friendly, and it just has a broader appeal to it.
Well, I'm extremely curious. You've definitely piqued my curiosity on what a Patel wine tastes like. So can we at Indians here get a taste of it?
It's very difficult to export wine to some countries, India being one of them. We do have wines going to Japan, Taiwan. We have clients in UK, New Zealand, lots of other countries. They do import wines. We do ship to clients, but it is really expensive to ship wines to India, and especially at our price range. And so as a result of that, I don't know that we'll have a big commercial market of wine into India, but for those enthusiasts who would like to collect it or taste it, I'm sure we'll be able to have an opportunity to take that there.
If nothing else, whenever any of us make it to America, we know what to add to our shopping list. Patel, as someone who is an Indian American yourself, seeing what's happened in the last few days, what do you make really of the reception from the Indian diaspora for the Prime Minister? The White House this morning was swarming with Desi Americans who'd come from all corners of the country to meet the Prime Minister.
I've been here since 1972, where there was very few Indian people, being one of the first Patel families to be in America. one of the things that happened is that over the years, especially the last 20 years, the Indian community has really moved up, whether it's in technology executives or various different brands, and even getting into the wine business. There are more and more that are getting into it. But the thing that has happened is they've really embraced it, and we find them in the political culture. Their representatives, our vice president is half Indian, and so the thing is that it's just a coming of time and coming of the era, and so the fact that they're embracing this prime minister and the prime minister, I don't know him personally. I just read about him and hear about him, and for all intents purposes, there'll always be critics of world leaders, but for India, I think from our perception from America, he's doing good for India. He's opening up markets. He's expanding the middle class, so he's helping India, and so and so I think that's what America is celebrating, is he's becoming a good partner.
All right, Raj, thank you very much for joining us here on India Today. Congratulations once again to you. If you look at the menu that's been put out for the state dinner, there's a mention of the wine list in which Patel Wines is also mentioned. We immediately thought we need to get the person who's behind Patel Wines here on India Today